All right, I believe we are now live on YouTube, going live on Rumble, starting up the music. Hello, good morning. It's been a long time. Anyway, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of this information come from the come from the website onthisday.com. And the smart device applications, historical calendar, and today in history. And is this music a little loud? I think it might be. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, for links to these sources and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below. All links gathered throughout the show will, of course, appear post-live stream. Anyway, I am Eozander, and today I am joined by...
King's Refuge.
Yep. And in the live studio audience, we have Sagittarius Jefferson. Anyway, today is Moon's Day, aka Monday, May 13th, 2024. So, Mr. King, would you care to start us off in the year 535, please, good sir?
Alright. 535, St. Agapetus I begins his reign as the Catholic Pope.
Oh, man,
And six...
I was just gonna say, I forgot how enjoyable it is when others struggle reading words. Anyway,
these nicks up here. We got 1609. Pope Boniface I turns the Pantheon of Rome into a Catholic Church.
Huh? The Pantheon, and
Pantheon sounds a lot more funner.
Yeah, well, like the Pantheon was a ancient Roman structure, I believe, built for the pantheon of the gods that they had, back in back in that day. Like the Roman gods, we all know that Rome basically stole Greek gods. Like Greek had Ares, the god of war, and then Rome had Mars, the god of war. The same thing, more or less. Yeah, anyway, what else do we have here? This one's kind of, woof, here.
110, 1110, Crusaders march into Beirut, causing a bloodbath.
Yeah, Beirut. You've probably heard of Beirut.
Beirut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, we all know about Beirut. Oh. Then we're going to move on up to 1277. As Vizier Mehmet I of Karaman issued a firman, a decree, ordering only the Turkish language to be used, not Arabic or Persian. That's not cool. Then 1501, Amerigo Vespucci. That's actually not even on this main source here. So actually, it's from the other one of the other sources. Amerigo Vespucci, this time under the Portuguese flag, set sail for Western lands. And if anybody is wondering why Amerigo sounds so familiar, that is the guy that America is named after. The entire, North and South America, the whole shebang, named after this one guy, yeah. And then we have here, 1559, exhumed corpse of heretic David Jorces was burned in Basel. So they dug up somebody, and then they burned his corpse. Okay.
It's really petty.
Yeah, I know, right? And then we're going to move on up here into 1607. English colonists led by John Smith established Jamestown as a second landing near the James River in Virginia, becoming the first permanent English settlement in North America. Wow. All the way back in 1607. And we have another one here, actually, that is off of main source. I know this is my fourth, but it's not on here for you to read, Mr. King. So we have here 1612, a sword duel between Miyamoto Musashi and Sasaki Kojiro on the shores of Ganryu Island. Kojiro died at the end. Huh. A sword duel. That's interesting.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Tight.
And we have another off of main source here. I apologize, King. I will give you 5 articles to read after this if you want. 1619, Dutch statesman Johan van Oldenbarnevelt is executed in The Hague after being convicted of treason. Whoa. Well.
Traitor.
Well, I mean, speaking of treason, I was in a raid in WoW Ascension just the other day, and I was hearing the audio from the Coaling of Stratholme, You know, when Arthas and Uther were talking like, treason! Have you lost your mind, Arthas?
Yeah.
Anyway, finally back to you. This is actually a really interesting one. Why don't you take this 1637, good sir?
All right, 1637, Cardinal Rich, I'm gonna call him Cardinal Ritchie of France, repeatedly creates the table knife. Ooh.
Oh, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Where's Paul Hogan? I gotta get him on the show. Is he even still alive? So, I don't know. Maybe.
No, maybe.
Anyway, 1643 here. I'll just highlight the ones instead of saying every...
16. All right, 1643. Heavy earthquake strikes Santiago, Chile. Kills a third. Holy shit! Kills a third of the population.
I know. I know. That's incredible. Like in a bad way. Like that's a lot of people. But I presume, like 33.333 continuing is a high number right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now it's 1767. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's first opera, Apollo Hyacinthus. Hyacinthus. Written when he was 11 years old, premieres in Salzburg.
Oh, it's pretty cool. Actually, 1767. He was born in 1756. Okay, so he was 11 when this happened. So he was.
When I was 11, I was creating fart sounds in my armpit.
I still can't do that.
That's the music. That's the music I was making.
Well, we have here another off of main source here. 1780, the Cumberland Compact was signed by leaders of the settlers in the Cumberland River area of what would become the U.S. state of Tennessee. That's where I was from. Providing for a democratic government and a formal system of justice. Interesting. But then here we go. Back to you, good sir.
And in 1787, the first fleet headed by Arthur Phillip set sail with 11 ships of convicts to the Botany Bay, Australia. That's where we started the whole conflict.
Yeah.
I just find this so fucking hilarious that everybody from Australia is descended from a fucking convict.
Most of them, not the Aborigines, though.
Yeah, Aborigines, right.
And, you look at Australia now, once a penal colony, always a penal colony. But,
right.
aside from that, though, I want you to pay attention to the year, 1787. All right? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
What happened 11 years before that? In July.
1777?
1776.
July?
Yeah.
76, yeah, right.
Yeah. See, the reason why Australia even became a penal colony is because, the colonists in the Americas got unruly and decided to make their own country and everything. So the Brits needed to find somewhere else to send all of their rabble, and then they're like, hey, we just found this new continent, let's go there, So if it wasn't for France, there would not be a United States. Then in turn, if there wasn't a United States, there wouldn't be a France, because they got their idea of revolution after helping us with ours. And in turn, if it wasn't for those, those series of events, there wouldn't be an Australia as we know it today. So,
right.
Pretty interesting. So, moving on up here, we have in 1830, Republic of Ecuador was founded with Juan Jose Flores as president. Now, I have another thing here from another source. Ecuador gained its independence from Gran Colombia. So that's not said in this one. So that's why I'm saying, this is why we have multiple sources, because there's, depending on the source, it says this thing or that thing, or it might not say anything at all while something else does. You gotta expand your look. You can't just go one and done. 1835, the first foreign embassy in Hawaii forms. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then 1846 here, the U.S. Congress voted in favor of President James K. Polk's request to declare war on Mexico over border disputes. And this is because the United States declared war on the Federal Republic of Mexico following a dispute over the American annexation of the Republic of Texas and Mexican military incursion. and I believe this is after the Alamo. So, when was the Alamo? Let's look. When did the Alamo fall? 1836. So yeah, this is, wow, 10 years after it. 1836 to 1846. So it took a decade before we declared war on Mexico after the fall of the Alamo? Well, that would make sense. Because Texas went and did their own thing with Sam Houston and all that jazz. Anyway, what do we got here in 1848?
1848, first performance of Finland's national anthem, Maine, composed by Frederick Hassius, Swedish words by John Ludvig Runeberg.
And this next one is pretty interesting.
So, 1861, Queen Victoria announces Britain's position of neutrality during the U.S. Civil War.
Yep. And I have something from... Sorry?
Let's say this. Yeah, let's work it out. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like actually, the Brits were doing as usual politics and everything. They were claiming they're neutral, but I have some more things here from another source. Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom issued a proclamation of neutrality, which recognized the Confederacy as having belligerent rights. So they basically said that. I don't know why they thought they had this kind of power, but they basically said that the Confederacy had the right to do things and everything. And I believe they actually, and this is why we did a blockade around the South, because Britain was actually giving the South, they were trading with them and they were giving them war supplies and everything. They were actually trying to help them overthrow us, and then that way Britain can come in and take us back over. Because they tried to hold on to us in 1776, didn't work. They tried to invade us again in 1812, didn't really work either, even though they burnt down our capital. But they really tried to get us back for like another couple hundred years, and then the Germans started doing things in the early 1900s, and then they came begging us for help. How the turns tables, Yeah.
And
then 1861, we have here. This is from a different source. Pakistan, which was then part of British India, their first railway line opened from Karachi to Kotri. Cool.
Nice.
Here's a space one for you, King.
Oh, sweet. 1861, the great comic of 1861 is covered by John Tibbett of Windsor, New South Wales. Good on him for not naming it after himself.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people do.
Now,
I mean, it's probably what I would do too, but,
Yeah. Now, I have another one here off of main source, which is really interesting, especially, the context of this, I don't know if it still is, but back when we were doing the show a while ago, it was obvious to us that this source, here on this day is very leftist. So you'd think that they would have this one here. 1862, this is a very, important event here. The USS Planter, a steamer and gunship, steeled through Confederate lines and was passed to the Union by a Southern slave, Robert Smalls, who later was officially appointed as captain, becoming the first black man to command a United States ship. I need a cheer for that. Hold on a second. Yeah, but no, to give a nutshell history, basically, Robert Smalls here, he was a slave. He escaped, and he escaped by stealing a Confederate ship, sailing it out of the Confederate-controlled harbor, and bringing it into the laps of the Union. The balls on this man! Oh my God!
Nice.
Robert Smalls is, he should be, celebrated and known. That should be one of the more known names, what he did was amazing. So, what else do we got here? 1878. Is this in here? Yes, it is. Here you go, sir. Oh, you're going to like this.
1878. Danners State Hospital, psychiatric hospital in Massachusetts, opens later serves as inspiration for the Arkham Sanatorium and the work H.P. Lovecraft, which is turned inspired by Arkham Asylum, DC Batman series. Nice!
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
So that's where that comes from.
Arkham Asylum is an inspiration off of an inspiration.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, huh?
That is pretty meta.
Yeah. 1884 here, the Institute for Electrical and Electronics Engineers, the IEEE, or it sounds like dolphin, like I can't do the dolphin noise.
They always say that in Marvel Comics.
Forms in New York. All right. 1888. I have more to add to this if you want to read this.
All right, in 1888, Princess Isabel of Brazil, acting as regent, signs the Lei Áurea Golden Law, abolishing slavery in Brazil. Sweet!
All right. Yeah, the Empire of Brazil abolished slavery. Awesome, awesome. Let's do a cheer for that, too.
She's not more well-known. We have a princess here.
Yeah.
So how come she's not more well-known? She ended slavery in Britain.
Yeah, well, that's Brazil. So, not
Brazil, sorry.
Well, like how many people know anything about Brazil other than Rio de Janeiro and
right.
You know, like they had the Olympics once. There's the statue of Jesus, you know. That speaking of inspiration, you know, that statue inspired that goblin one outside of Booty Bay in Stranglethorn Vale. So like, you know, the goblin, you know, just standing out there on the island. Yeah.
The Jesus statue?
The Jesus goblin, yeah.
Jesus goblin?
It's Goblin Jesus.
Who's Goblin Jesus?
Actually, I'm gonna DM something to you because something just came to my mind. So hold on a second. Fitting. You know what? I'll just explain it later. We're gonna move on up here to 1890. British Prime Minister Lord Salisbury, not to be confused with a delicious steak, offered Heligoland Islands to Germany in exchange for Zanzibar, Uganda, and Equatoria. This later became Heligoland-Zanzibar Treaty that July. So I believe they did swap lands and everything.
Mm.
All right, I just DM'd you what was on my mind. I had to get it out. So, anyway, I'm going to hell. Anyway, what do we got here? 1912.
1912, Royal Flying Corps forms Great Britain.
Yep. The Royal Flying Corps, the forerunner to the Royal Air Force, was established in the United Kingdom. So, Great Britain, United Kingdom, whatever. I don't know when they switched, what title, what name of the, you know, they're a country of many names. So, but yeah, the forerunner to the RAF, pretty cool. And this is pretty interesting. If you want to take that.
Yeah. 1913, first four-engine aircraft built and flown by Igor Zelensky in Russia.
Great accent there, comrade. I will seize and redistribute it to the people. Then moving on up here to 1915, we have the U.S. Secretary of State Bryan sent a note to Germany demanding that Germany disavow the attacks on the Lusitania and make immediate reparations. However, the note was written only to pacify excited public opinion, according to Bryan. And we would enter the war with it the next year, and we would have boots on the ground by 1917. So, but we also have in 1916 the first observance of Indian Day, Native American. No, so Native American Day. So in the U.S. So not the India Indians, the Native American Indians.
Yeah.
So happy Native American. Are we still doing that? Like, is it on a calendar date, or is it on? Does it work like Thanksgiving? That's like the last Thursday, Native American Day, 1939. Making count for a state honor this holiday. Okay, well, this is interesting. In 1939, Governor Cobalt Olson declared October 1st to be Indian Day, making California the first state to honor this holiday. So, way after it was established. Well, wait a minute. But this is the first observance of Native American Day. But I guess it wasn't actually a state holiday yet. I don't know. If anybody wants to read more on Native American Day, I'm going to post this this Wikipedia link here. Native American Day. In the underbar after the show, as I said at the top of this. 1916 as well, Lafayette Escadrille, a U.S. Air Force unit under French command comprised of volunteers to fight for France, saw first combat at the Battle of Verdun. And remember, that's 1916. Aircraft. That's early. So.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to take this one here before I hand it back off to you again. I know we've been ping-ponging and not following the 3-for-3 format because I keep finding things that are off of the script. But we have here, like, 1917, the first appearance of Mary to 3 shepherd children in Fatima, Portugal. And we have here as well from another source, 3 children report the first apparition of Our Lady of Fatima in Fatima, Portugal. So, anyway, moving on up to 1939. Oh, this one's not good.
1939, SS St. Louis departs Hamburg, Germany, with 937 Jewish refugees bound for Havana, Cuba. Authorities refused to admit them, and most of the passengers returned to Earth. Europe.
Return to Earth. They left? But yeah, that's awful, because think about it. A lot of those people probably ended up dying in the Holocaust. Like,
I guess.
They were running, man. They were getting the hell out of there.
Hey, so how did they get away?
Luck. You know?
937 of them, man. That's...
Yeah, well...
Oh, had to be packed to the gills.
Yeah. Well, you know, keep in mind, like, Albert Einstein was a Jewish refugee. He fled, you know, the oppression in Germany.
Yeah,
like,
he got out why the signs were early, though, right?
Yeah, I think he fled in the mid to, you know, somewhere in mid-30s, when things were starting to get, you know, hey, it's not cool happening. Kind of like all the people who left California, and why the hell am I here? You know? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like after they're going after a certain demographic for being evil.
Yeah.
Now.
Anyway,
we'll get into that. Another show.
This one seems insignificant, but I will elaborate on it if you want to read this this first part here.
And 1940 German breakthrough at Greblin.
All right.
Greblin.
Now, let me explain why this is important. 1940, during World War II, Germany's conquest of France began as the German army crossed the Meuse. Winston Churchill made his blood, toil, tears, and sweat speech at the House of Commons, and it goes into that here. So they talk about Churchill in the next article, but you'd think, the German conquest of France, starting would be a lot more than just a random ass footnote about the Greblin. What the hell is the Greblin? I don't know about that.
There should be more context put in there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like this is why this is why history is so important, and why people are always saying history is being rewritten, because it is literally right there. If I hadn't already had this on a script from last year or whenever I had it written before, then this would have gone overlooked. It's that easy. Even someone like me, can overlook something like that. That is incredibly significant. But anyway, do you want to read this one here? I know I've already kind of tapped into that, with...
1940, Winston Churchill says, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat, in his first speech as Prime Minister of the British House of Commons. That's a good line.
Yep. And what else do we got here? 1941. It's not in here. Well, we have here from off the source. Also during World War II, during 1941, Yugoslav Royal Colonel Dragoljub Mihailovic started fighting against German occupation troops, beginning the Serbian resistance. All right. And this one's pretty cool.
Yeah, 1942, helicopter makes the first cross-country flight.
Ooh. Helicopter. The Whirlybirds.
Whirly bird.
I'm trying to find this one here, and it's written differently. Here it is.
1943, German and Italian forces in Africa surrendered.
Yeah. We have Operations Vulcan and Strike forced the surrender of the last Axis troops in Tunisia. So, from another source, goes into a little bit more depth. So, here's one that's kind of good, question mark, like, so.
1946, U.S. censuses 58 camp guards at Mophefield concentration camp to death. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We were just following orders.
Outside.
We were just following orders. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, willingly.
So are we.
Hey, oh, it's a paycheck. A job's a job. Ooh. Anyway, 1947, U.S. Senate approves the Taft-Hartley Act limiting the power of unions. Well, I only put that in there because I have a bad experience with a union. I'm never going to join one again. They screwed me over. Like, I'm not going to get into that story, but then here we go. This is interesting here. Not even mentioned. I wonder why. 1948, we have the Arab-Israeli War. The Kfar-Izin massacre occurred a day prior to the Israeli Declaration of Independence. Interesting how our main source doesn't even mention this in any capacity. So, especially with how, all the hoopla going on about that stuff right now. So, yeah. But here's another aerospace one here for you, good sir.
In 1949, first British produced jet bomber, the Canberra, makes its first test flight. Sweet.
Ooh.
Jet bomber.
Yeah, let's take a look at what this looks like. The Canberra. Oops, I did not want that one. I want this one. Canberra jet bomber.
Jet bomber. There you go.
Oh, okay, this one here. A bit bigger this.
Nice.
Yeah, those are pretty cool looking. Dude, look at that. That cockpit looks so weird.
Yeah.
Huh. It looks like it's solid. Like you get into the aircraft another way, and then you just climb in and boop. Huh. I don't know. Anyway, 1950. This one is evil.
Ooh, credit cards. 1950, Diners Club issues its first credit cards.
Yep.
And thus leaves the downfall of America.
Yep. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is credit cards initially started, as it says here, Diners Club. It was an exclusive, affluent, high wealth only club. Because you get a card and then you charge it and then you pay later. I'll gladly pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger today kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the Diners Club figured out, hey, we can use this to make money off of idiots. And so the downfall began. Yeah. Oh.
I'll never use another credit card in my life.
I have the best.
I don't care if it builds. I don't care if it builds my credit score. I don't want to.
Yeah, like I tried my damnedest to build credit, and like I just at every turn I was denied. Like
that's where they got us at. Like, oh, you have to have the thing that's gonna screw you over if you
well.
Don't make your payments and everything, but you need one. You need one to build your credit. Like,
yeah, you need one to build your credit. You need one to
that thing.
You need credit score to rent, to buy, to own, to do any of that. Like it's all a scam. The whole system, the whole thing is a fucking scam. So
why doesn't having a job apply to one merchant credit score?
Anyway, Moving up to
Right.
1950 here, we have the first ever race of the Formula One World Drivers' Championship is run at Silverstone in England, won by Giuseppe Farina of Italy in an Alfa Romeo. Awesome.
Nice.
Yep. And 1951. Sorry?
Cargo room. Sorry.
Cargo space? No. Car no fly. Car no go space. 1951, off of the main source here, we have the 400th anniversary of the founding of the National University of San Marcos was commemorated by the opening of the first large-capacity stadium in Peru. Cool. And 1952, Jawaharlal Nehru became Premier of India. He was the first Prime Minister of India. Awesome. So I think this is just before India became independent. I'm not sure. When did India become independent? When did India become independent? 1947, actually, so never mind. So he was already the prime minister before, and then he became a premier, so I guess this is later on in his career. Oh.
Did not know that.
Yeah. You're into baseball, right, King?
Yeah, not really.
Oh.
All right, I'll read it.
All right.
1954, Robin Roberts gives up a home run, then retires next 27 minutes in a row. What?
I don't know what that means, but it sounds impressive. So.
Then retires next. I don't understand.
Yeah, I have no idea. But this next one here I have in 1958 is not on main source, at least anything that I can find here really quick. But we have 1958, Ben Carlin became the first and only, so he's so far the only, according to this other source that I have, person to circumnavigate the world by amphibious vehicle, having traveled over 17,000 kilometers or 11,000 miles by sea and 62,000 kilometers or 39,000 miles by land during a 10-year journey. So if anybody wants to be the next person, number 2 is open, and maybe you can do it a lot faster. Well, I mean, 1958 to 2024, hell yeah, you can do it a lot faster in an amphibious vehicle today. So, why is nobody trying to break that record? David Rush, there's a challenge for you, right there.
Yeah.
We also have 1958, the May of 1958 crisis, which I think it touches on very briefly somewhere in here. A group of French military officers led a coup in Algiers demanding that a government of national unity be formed with Charles de Gaulle at its head in order to defend French control of Algeria, which is, of course, in Africa, I believe. So, and yeah, right here, French settlers riot against French army in Algeria. Like, as a history source, especially one with so much articles, you'd think that they would have a little bit more elaboration on, this, throwaway sentence. But apparently not. You want to take this next one, this other 58?
All right. 1958, Jordan and Iraq formed the Arab Federation.
Arab
What's
Federation.
The Arab Federation?
Arab Federation. Yeah.
Like a Star Trek thing?
The Arab. But this next one, I think it says the same thing in different ways, so you can go ahead and take this here.
All right, 1958, the motorcycle carrying U.S. Vice President Richard Nixon is attacked in Caracas, Venezuela. Several of Nixon's staff are injured.
Yeah. So his motorcade. That's... yeah. Ooh.
That I can't... How did that not lead to something,
Well, pretty sure probably some people got shot. Not sure. I don't know, because he's a visiting dignitary, so probably can't open fire on domestic people as a foreign person. I don't know how politics work.
I was just saying. I'm talking about after we get back home and safe that we don't come retaliate.
It's just and that was in 58. We just drop the bomb
Oh,
on
we didn't
Venezuela.
F around back then.
Yeah.
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 Those days there were no bleeding hearts like there are today.
No. But this one's really cool.
1958, the trademark Velcro is registered.
All right.
Velcro's awesome.
Velcro. Yeah. Moving on up into 1960, hundreds of University of California, Berkeley students congregate for the first day of protest against a visit by the House Committee on Un-American Activities. That's a flip-flop in history right there.
Oh my God!
I know, right? Californians.
Don't get me started on the protest today.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Actually,
everybody thinks it's freaking Rosa Parks now.
Actually, like I've been hearing murmurs of college-age kids. Leaning more towards, the way things, used to be, so we might actually see something like this soon.
Oh.
Yeah.
My nephew who's 18, he's huge conservative. Yeah, I love it. He's like, yeah, all my friends are like this too. Like, great. Fantastic.
Bring him in to the server. Have him join on the coalition.
I'm not sure if he gets on Discord. I have to ask him.
Ah, all right. I've been trying to get your cousin in here too. Oh, the one that you go hang out with. Yeah.
Yeah. Chad. I think Chad's in there.
Yeah. Let's not say real life names.
He left.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we have a space one here.
Ooh, space. 1960, first launch of Delta satellite launching vehicle. Details. Plum.
Yeah, well, progress.
It is 1960. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Moving on to 1965, several Arab nations broke ties with West Germany after it established diplomatic relations with Israel. That's interesting. Wasn't West Germany the democratic one? Like, the good one? So, why is Israel breaking free of the one not under communist control? Huh. That's a little weird. That makes you think, about Israel's actual plans. Anyway, 1966, the Rolling Stones released Paint It Black in the UK. And I have one thing to say. God damn it, Rhombus, sir, this song is stuck in my head. Do you remember Rhombus, sir, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I miss him. Anyway, 1966, what do we got here?
1966, U.S. federal education funding is denied to 12 school districts in the southern and south because of violations of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So, anyway, keeping slaves?
No, that was when, I don't know exactly. I know the governor of, the actual governor of the state. I think it was Arkansas. I don't know. Maybe not Arkansas. But the actual governor of the state went down to a school and physically blocked black kids from going in. The governor! The governor!
Wow.
The governor. Not some random ass guy. The fucking governor!
Wow. No more.
Yeah.
No more funding for you.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that and this has a connection to some degree. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some are easier to convince than others.
But I have one here that it elaborates more from a different source if you want to read this.
1967, Zakir Hussain is elected third president of India.
He was the first Muslim president of the Indian Union, and he held that position until August 24th, 1969. Pretty cool. Yeah. And then, this one's interesting.
1967, octagonal boxing ring is tested to avoid corner injuries. Huh.
We all know about the octagon today in MMA. Yeah. Cage match! Huh. I'm going to skip over this one, because I have this in the script here because of a million people, but we're already at 38 minutes into 1969, so we're going to move on up into 1971. This is not even in the main source, so I'm going to read this here. Over 900 unarmed Bengali Hindus are murdered in the Damara massacre. Whoa. That's not cool. So, 1972. You can read this if you want. I have more information here.
1972, Battle of Spring Martin, followed by a Loyalist car bombing at a Catholic-owned pub in the Balmoral area of Belfast. Clashes erupt between PIRA, UVF, and the British Army.
Yeah, the PIRA, the People's Irish Republican Army, and I don't know what UVF stands for, but this is during the Troubles.
United.
Remember when Ireland was trying to become their own nation and they were doing terrorist actions and stuff against Britain and everything? Like not all terrorists are brown people, guys. Like look at the Troubles. For 30 years, a bunch of white Irish people were doing car bomb. Have you ever heard of the drink, the Irish car bomb? You dump a thing of Bailey's Irish cream into a glass of Guinness. Well, it's named after an actual explosive device that killed people. Yeah, that's what it's named after. We have here a car bombing outside a crowded pub in Belfast sparks a 2-day gun battle involving the Provisional IRA, so not People's IRA, the Provisional IRA, Ulster Volunteer Force, so that's what UVF stands for, and the British Army. 7 people were killed and over 66 were injured. So all this stuff that we've been seeing and stuff over in the Middle East has already happened with white people against other white people in the British Isles, from 1960 to 1980 or something. Look it up, the Troubles. They were really hard times there. So, anyway, we also have in 1972 a fire occurred in the Senichi department store in Osaka, Japan. Blocked exits and non-functional elevators resulted in 18 fatalities. Many victims 118 fatalities. Sorry. Many victims leaping to their deaths. Wow. Wow. And it says right here. Yeah, if you want to read this is the same thing but kind of different.
Yeah. 1972, 115 die in nightclub atop a 7-story Senichi department store. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow.
Imagine just your only option is to leap out the window. Oh my god.
Could you imagine going to a nightclub and ending up having to jump off a building? That is not a fun night, A
nightclub 7 stories high,
yeah.
I don't know. That's just
no, the nightclub isn't 7 stories high. The nightclub is on the 7th floor of a department store.
Yeah, on the 7th floor. That's what I'm saying. Everything's here on the 1st floor here, and where I live in Iowa, Boring, Iowa.
Try not to dox yourself.
We don't have stuff on 7 building floors here, unless it's an office or a hospital.
Yeah, I wonder, do you have anything above 5 stories in Iowa, anywhere?
Yeah, right. 5 stories? No. I don't think so. Unless you go to Des Moines, maybe. There might be a building or 2 down there.
Tallest building in Iowa. Let's see here. Okay, there's actually okay. 45 flours. Okay.
Oh, wow.
801 grand. Previously the principal building in Des Moines. Yeah.
Yeah, Des Moines.
Yeah.
Our capital.
All right. Well, you got something.
Probably the only places you're going to find.
Yeah. Got some painful things here.
1977, Howard Stern begins broadcasting at WN. How do you say that? WRNW.
WRNW. I was talking about the one above.
That's not the one you're looking for. 1975, hailstones as large as tennis balls hit Warrenville, Tennessee. Jeez.
Wow.
Tennis balls.
Dude, if any of those hit you, you'll just disintegrate.
You just imagine yourself outside as a...
Yeah. Yep. And we have, this one's pretty cool.
1978, Joel Chitlin drives a Chevrolet 5.6 miles and on just 2 wheels. Oh, he did the whole side thing.
Yeah, he got it up on 2 wheels and just stayed there. Oh,
Nice.
yeah. We also have here in 1979, the Shah of Iran, Mohammad Raza Pahlavi, and his family were sentenced to death in Tehran. And he was the last Shah of Iran, and he did a bunch of globetrotting. Nobody wanted him. Eventually, I think he found his way back into the U.S. at some point. I don't know. I don't know. But we have here in 1981, Pope John Paul II was shot and critically wounded by Turkish gunman Mehmet Ali Agca in St. Peter's Square, Vatican City, and this is why we have the Pope Mobile. So, yeah.
I was born in 1981.
Ah. So, was this before or after you were born?
It was October.
October. Okay, so this is before you were born. Oh. All right. And then 1982, Chicago Cubs won their 8,000th game, defeating the Astros. 8,000th game. Nice. Reggie Jackson, 1983, became the first major leaguer to strike out 2,000 times. That is not a good thing to document. 2,000 times struck out.
hey! He's got the record, son.
Yeah.
No disrespect. He's got the record.
Better than me. So.
It is a record.
Yeah. I haven't struck out 2,000 times. I'm not even sure if I've been at bat 2,000 times. I did play Little League. I hated it. Especially when the kids started throwing balls at my face intentionally. So, that could be taken weird out of context. So, you gotta watch what you say when you're on camera. Anyway, I have an alternate thing to say about this in 85, good sir, if you want to read it.
1985, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, police drop explosive device on a house occupied by revolutionary black separatist group MOVE, killing 11 during the standoff after a shootout, ensuing 5 fire destroys 60. Holy shit.
Dang. So this reminds me a lot of Waco.
Man, that's like, there's a spider in the house. Bring out the torch gun, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Flamethrower. Bring out the flamethrower. Kill a spider.
Yeah.
Man.
But in this case, the spider was a bunch of black people. So, yeah, not good. Anyway, welcome to the show, Saren. How you doing today?
I'm good. Want to check in with you, see how things are going.
Doing well. We're actually live streaming right now onto YouTube and Rumble. So
fantastic. I've just kicked 3 more thieves from the guild.
Oh, thieves. Man, were they?
Well, goodbye.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to talk about that after the show.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah. What else do we got here? 1989. Approximately. Why don't you take this actually?
1989, approximately 2,000 students began a hunger strike in Tiananmen Square, China, to force a dialogue with the government ahead of a visit by the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. I don't know how to say his name.
Gorbachev.
I know who he is, though. Gorbachev.
Yeah, that's the guy with the continent on his forehead, right?
Yeah. The guy with the
on
his head.
Tear down this wall. Reagan smash. Reagan smash.
Reagan smash.
Moving on up to 1990. This looks like it's not even on the source. Yeah, there's not even a 1990 on here. The Dinamo Red Star riot took place at Maksimir Stadium in Zagreb, Croatia, between the Bad Blue Boys, fans of Dinamo Zagreb, and the Deligi, fans of Red Star Belgrade. So it's not just in the United States where we have riots over sports teams. I mean, of course we have the soccer hooligans in Britain, but but this sounds like something in India. Wait, no, Croatia. Croatia, right there. So wherever Croatia is, that's Europe, right? I think. Anyway, we got a space one here for you. It's pretty interesting.
And 1992, three astronauts simultaneously walked in space for the first time.
3 astronauts? Is that what they are called in
They,
Australia?
it's my fancy. I'm starting a new thing.
Oh.
Pass it on.
Okay, if you're gonna be fancy, I gotta put my pinky way up. Way up.
There you go.
Maybe even do a double pinky.
No.
We also have 1992. Is this in here somewhere? Yeah, here it is. King?
1992, Li Hongzhi gave the first public lecture on Falun Gong in Sichuan People's Republic of China.
Well, you ever heard of Falun Gong?
Yeah, I've heard of Falun Gong.
Yeah, you heard about how the practitioners are getting, not
Yeah.
good treatment?
Yeah, same with the Uyghurs.
Yeah, and basically everybody who's not,
Yeah, everybody who's not Chinese.
like, or who's not this specific of
I'll say-
Chinese.
Oh yeah,
You know?
say that. Yeah, the Chinese are persecuted over there. So
Yeah.
anybody not towing the line, like, have you seen? Like, I'm not gonna do this. Good, keep going.
Yeah, let's not get too deep into this. Like, I don't want to get a strike on YouTube.
I keep
No.
wanting to side shift.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people can get what we're saying, and we can probably like have more of a dialogue. Like, hell, we can bring it up. Like, we can revive the peanut under a different name, or something. We can figure something out. Have a show
We definitely need to do that.
where we can like
Where
have a
I-
Rumble only segment again, and we can actually let loose and really talk about what we want to talk
Especially
about.
when I start up that commentary stuff,
Yeah,
where we just comment on
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
We have
Anyway,
a good back and forth.
do you want to take this next one here in '94?
1994, the MLB Cleveland Indians began 18 home game win streak at newly opened gym. Oh, that's pretty good.
Awesome.
18.
That has to be good luck. It was a newly open, field, and
Mm-hmm.
they're playing at home in 18 games. Win, 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 win. Awesome stuff. Moving on up to 1995, which is not even in here. So off of main source, Alison Hargreaves, and you'd think this source being a leftist source would celebrate a woman's achievement here, but apparently not. A 33-year-old British mother became the first woman to conquer Mount Everest without oxygen or the help of Sherpas. How did she do
Wow.
that? Without oxygen. She obviously was breathing, but, with supplemental oxygen because, you get up to that level, the air is so thin, it's hard to breathe, And she's 33. 33! And she's a mother. She's gone through childbirth, and she's scaling the highest mountain in the earth without help, without, supplementary oxygen. This woman is a BAMF. Dude, like, my salute.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Miss Allison,
Yeah, salutes.
Mrs. Allison Hargreaves, if I'm pronouncing that right, you have my utmost respect.
Yeah,
Oh.
salute to you.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Take this one here.
1996, severe thunderstorms and tornado in Bangladesh kill 600 people. Oh my god.
Yeah, but also keep in mind it's India. There's a lot of them, and they're tightly packed together.
Yeah, they are.
So like 600 people was probably like 5% of the city. So, yeah. Still, that's a lot of people. I'm not discounting
That's a
that
lot.
at all. But, speaking of India,
1998, India carries out 2 nuclear tests in Pokhran, in addition to 3 conducted on May 11th. The United States and Japan imposed economic sanctions on India.
ooh,
How dare you use your nuclear stuff?
how dare you do what we've already done?
How dare you what we're currently doing?
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, yikes.
1998 race riots break out in Jakarta, Indonesia.
Try
where
not to say that word,
shops
by the
own-
way.
Where shops. Oh, there, yeah. where shops owned by Indonesians and Chinese descent are looted and women are patted down
Snuggled. Yeah,
very heftily.
women are snuggled is what I usually say. Like
Yeah.
that's an R word that I do not say,
No,
at
not
least on
YouTube.
camera. So moving on up to the year 2000. The year 2000.
The year 2000.
Can you imagine that the millennium was 24 years ago? We're almost at a quarter of a century.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
That's when I graduated.
Oh man. In Eschendade in the Netherlands, a fireworks factory exploded, killing 22 people, wounding 950 others, and resulting in approximately 450 million euros in damage. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, it is a fireworks factory. So, now you want to talk about these tossed salads and scrambled eggs here?
Give me a second here.
All right. 2004, the final episode of Frasier on NBC was watched by 33 million people. 33 times more than the people who protested de Gaulle earlier. So,
Oh wow.
yeah. In 2005, we have the Anjanin massacre occurred in Uzbekistan, in which here the Andijan uprising in Uzbekistan, troops opened fire on crowds of protesters after a prison break. At least 187 people were killed, according to official estimates. Wow. Yikes. And just 1 year later, not even on this source, we have the Sao Paulo violence. Rebellions occurred in several prisons in Brazil. So once again, speaking of Brazil and such, it isn't Sao Paulo in Brazil, like, you know, the hardest crackdown. Like, isn't that where they have all of those, like, thousands of gang members there now? Like,
yeah.
I'm not
You were
sure.
cracking down on it.
Yeah. And then 2007 here, at 16 years, 65 days old, Matthew Briggs debuted for Fulham in a 3-1 defeat at Middlesbrough, becoming the youngest player to appear in an English Premier League match. At 16 years old. Wow.
Nice.
That's impressive. So,
Chad.
yep. 2011, 2 bombs exploded in the Shahzada district of Pakistan, killing 98 people and wounding 140 others. Oh. Yikes. Whoa, 2012. Do you want to take this one? Holy shit.
2012, 49 dismembered bodies are found on a Mexican highway as part of the Mexican drug war.
Yeah.
49.
They were found on Mexican Federal Highway 40. Wow. Yikes.
Man.
And those people are just coming right in. Just coming right in.
Let them all in, yeah!
Roll out the red carpet. You know, here's a couple chocolates on your pillow there for you. Taxpayer dollars spent, of course. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Homeless Americans, you don't get any.
Yeah. Tax-paying citizens don't get shit. No. Yeah.
No.
Yep. We got some rain here. Blame it on the rain.
2012. A torrential rain in Hunan province in China destroys a bridge. 3,500 homes are displaced. Oh, it displaces 28,000 people. Oh my goodness.
Wow. We all know about Hunan province now. We've been hearing about them a lot. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yep. 2013. It's not even in here. So, wow, this one's rather dark. U.S. physician Kermit Gosnell was found guilty in Pennsylvania of murdering 3 infants born alive during attempted abortions, involuntary manslaughter of a woman during an abortion procedure, and other charges. What the absolute hell? Wow. That makes me want to throw up. Like, They were born while they were being aborted, and then they were killed.
Yep, they were trying to pass that. And for those of you who don't know, they were actually trying to pass this as a law.
Oh, in California,
in my opinion, that's why the whole thing got reversed.
In California,
it's because they want to go with it.
In California, post-birth abortions are legal. Let me repeat that. Post-birth, after birth, which means alive human beings are allowed to be aborted. That's murder. So.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on up to 2014, we have 301 miners were killed by an underground explosion and mine fire in Soma Mine, Manisa, Turkey. So, this is why I very seldomly go in the actual mines in Ascension, because I don't want to cave in. Yeah. Yeah. 2017, you want to take this one?
In 2017, 22-year-old UK blogger halts spread of global ransomware cyber attack by accidentally identifying kill switch. Well, good for him, dude.
Dude, wicked awesome. Huh. This one's pretty cool. Like, this one raises an eyebrow, though. Like, especially the end sentence. Like,
yeah.
So go ahead and read it.
2017, Portugal children Francisco and Joaquinita Marto died in 1919 and 1920, aged 10 and 11, or 10 and 9 in flu epidemic. Canonized by Pope Francis at Fatima, the youngest Catholic saints not to die as martyrs.
Now I want you to think about that. The youngest Catholic saints not to die as martyrs. So that insinuates that there were younger saints who did die as martyrs. So younger than 9 years old, dying in the name of God. What are they doing? Why are their children dying as martyrs? Like, maybe there were, maybe there weren't, but that's what I'm getting out of this sentence, because that insinuates that. Like, Oh, here we go. Let's talk about China again. China.
2018, China's first domestically built aircraft carrier begins sea trials at Dalian, China.
Oh man, yikes! That really worries me. Oh.
Yeah. Lots of stuff China do worries me.
Yeah. Oh.
2018, family of 6 carry out 3 church bombings in Surabaya, Indonesia, killing at least 13. Islamic State claims responsibility.
Wow. A family.
Mm-hmm. And we're letting these people in too.
Moving on up to 2019, I vaguely remember something about this. Actress Felicity Huffman pled guilty for her part in the U.S. college admissions scandal. Something, I don't remember exactly what, but I remember it was a real big, not cool thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything else about it?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, tell us.
I remember that she, I'm not sure if it's her or kids or if this is the same person, but I'm not even sure if I'm talking about the same lady, but basically what happened is they lied on their application for their son, daughter, or themselves, saying they were, I don't know if it was, I can't remember what they put on it, but they lied on an application for college so they could be let in.
Yeah.
And based on their academics alone, based on what everybody else is judged upon, she wouldn't have made it.
So she probably, like, it sounds like maybe, like, do you think that they said that they were like 1/8 Cherokee or something, like trying to pull that crap?
I can't be for sure, but
well, I'm not saying that exact, right. But but they did do something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah,
it was something like that. Because we gotta have rules in place that put people ahead of each other based on their skin color because,
Yeah.
to fight the other. We have to fight racism with racism.
Yeah. Well, speaking of lying, cheating, untrustworthy people, China. You want to talk about China again?
Oh yeah, 2019 China retaliates against the U.S. and their trade war escalates, raising tariffs to $60 billion worth of goods, affecting over 4,000.
Huh. A little funny how, like, just, well, actually, no, this is when the Kung Flu was just starting, right? In 2019?
It was about a year before.
I thought it was 2019. Or, no,
Maybe.
late 2018, sorry.
I'm pretty sure 2020. It wasn't 2020 or like December is when it first, like,
Or I think
the
maybe...
mainstream he wasn't talking about it, but it was in December
Huh.
2020, I believe. I could be wrong.
Well, that's when it came into us, but it started in China, like, several months prior, and they tried to keep it on the low down, and it just mushroomed. So...
Yeah.
But this one's interesting here.
2019 Diary of Dutch statesman Johan van Oldenbarg. Last days rediscovered and displaced for the 400th anniversary of his execution.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, speaking of execution, another 2019 here.
Former president of Sudan, Omar al-Bashir, is charged in connection with the deaths of protesters the previous month.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
That reminds me, like, of all those whistleblowers for the airlines just mysteriously dying. Isn't that weird?
Oh, yeah, the Boeing thing, man. The Boeing thing is wild.
Yeah, just like all the friends of Hillary. Like what a coincidence, Yeah. Like, and that guy, and that guy who mysteriously died in prison, who has a weird island that's, now under lockdown, Huh.
It's weird.
Strange, weird stuff, huh? Yeah. So.
How about we traded a horrible basketball player for the terrorist of the year.
Yeah, the Merchant of Death. Wait, isn't that the same guy from like that what's his face played the tasteless asshole, Nicolas Cage, in
Yes, he made a movie.
Yeah. So the character he was portraying is the same guy that we traded, Yuri, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same guy.
Wow. Huh.
I haven't seen that movie though.
Lord of War. Yeah, I got to see that movie too. I've seen a lot of scenes. Why don't we watch that today later? Let's watch that.
All right.
During one of our impromptu nights. So, if you want to take, do you want to take this last 2019? Well, actually, there's one more 2019 after this, but you want to take this one? It's space.
And 2019 new study on the moon shows it is still shrinking with recent moonquakes as it cools. Publisher and journal Natural. Ooh, it's shrinking now.
Yeah. Well, no, it has been shrinking.
Is that part of the whole thing? It's like it's moving away from this thing?
No, it's actually, well, it's moving away from us, yes, but it's also shrinking at the same time.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Doing both.
Yeah. And then last but not least in 2019, Sri Lanka imposed a nationwide curfew from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. to curb violence against Muslims after the Easter Sunday terrorist attacks. So wait a minute.
Yeah, certain cities are starting to do that now.
Well, no, hold on a second. So let me get this straight from the sound of it, because Easter Sunday is a Christian holiday. So it sounds like the Muslims did a bunch of attacks on Easter Sunday. Now, I'm not saying they did. I'm saying it sounds like, because I'm not looking into this. But in order to prevent retaliation against the Muslims, they did a curfew. So they're protecting the Muslims, but not the Christians. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just reading between the lines here.
Yeah.
Using our brains.
Yeah. 2021, the Gaza conflict has killed 103 people in Palestine, including 27 children, through Israel airstrikes. More than 1,000 rockets fired into Israel by Gaza militants, killing 7. City of Lod, center of street fighting. So, all right. So here we go. More of that crap. And to end this, I wouldn't see on the high note, because this is not good news. But at least it's not political. Well, it can be with climate change. But 2021 as well. Just 3 years ago on this date, the world's largest iceberg, A76, at 1,667 square miles or 4,320 square kilometers, caved off of the Ron ice shelf in Antarctica. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, oh. And I'm not gonna go through all of the bursts here, but we have some pretty interesting ones. Like here, let's see here. Joe Louis, pretty interesting. Harry Schwartz, what an unfortunate name. Jim Jones, that cult leader. He's a drink the Kool-Aid guy, right? So
Yeah.
we have Magic Dick Richard Salwes, David Hawk Walensky, Stevie Wonder, the blind, yeah. Dennis Rodman, the basketball player. Stephen Colbert, take that what it's worth. That guy's a piece of crap now. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, and that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar in the description for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We're not just on Rumble and YouTube. We are also on BitChute and Odyssey for select shows and everything. Links to those in our social medias and more are in our link tree. For your dose of past events daily, we stream almost every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern, respectively. We do have other shows like the Omni Coalition News Show coming up on Friday. The Omni Kitchen is still in the works. Einosh is still in the works. Hell, maybe King, you and I can work on Einosh. I need to talk with you about that. So yeah.
All right.
But anyway, for anybody who's interested in watching us live, if you're on the West Coast, it's 11 and 3 all for thee. Mountain 12 and 4, watch us for more. Central 1 and 5 for the Contrive. East 2 and 6 for your fix. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
It's King's Refuge.
And we have Sagittarius in the live studio audience, and for a moment we also had Saren. So, yeah, and of course, you viewer are you. And until you catch us next time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Deuces.
In stream. Oh, whoops. Hold on a second. My other monitor died, so I had to